So I just wanted to talk for a few minutes about like what to do when you feel like like when you feel like you're really really ugly, because sometimes I feel like I have to deal with that a lot because well, everyone has different reasons why they might not feel the best about themselves. Like for some people could just be like the way you feel like you look or something, and other people might have a different reason, but I have a very specific reason why I always felt ugly, and it has to do with who I look like, or who I think I look like, but pretty much who I look like. It's a very deep-rooted feeling, so it's not something that I can just like go get rid of it. So, a lot of times, I feel like I look like my biological father, and he is not a very nice person. Like, he is probably the most nasty person I've ever known in my life. But yeah, so as you can see, your brain tends to kind of see that face as ugly, because that's what we always do. If you've noticed that, we tend to see nasty people as ugly. That's a lot of times, like if you've ever seen some, like, you know, someone that's done really horrible things, a lot of people will say that they look ugly. Like, you know, just like if someone's not nice, your brain will kind of just jumble their facial feature, and not jumble, I shouldn't say jumble, more like it will recognize that as like ugly, so kind of make you feel repulsed by the person. So what do you do though when you feel like you look like the person that is you're repulsed by? You know, like, what do you do when there are so specific like features that kind of remind you of why you must feel like why you must be the ugliest person? Because that's kind of how I felt my entire life. It's like when your brain like recognize that feature is something that you hate, it's very hard to change that. So I can be just like, you know, doing something, and I'll see like an angle of myself. Like, I'll see a specific angle for my nose, and I'll just feel like, oh, yuck. Like, you know, it's like it's very hard to like rewire. I feel like in order for me to rewire that part of the brain, I would have to get rid of like all my memories or something, because that's just how the body works. So, you know, like, sometimes I don't recognize it until maybe something's kind of remind me of it, and you know, it's like certain angles, or like I find when I'm looking upwards or something, or downwards, like a specific nose angle. I think it's like looking downwards, like it's specific like triggers that like intense, like, ooh. So what do you do when that happens? Like, I feel like instead of trying to make yourself wrong for doing that, because your brain is kind of just being itself, you know. It's like, just like I say, like fear, you know, I would hate to, like, I would love to know how much more productive we would be if we didn't feel scared, but our brains are just there to help us, and unless we find a way to turn off fear, like, that's not going to happen. So all we can do is just, I don't know, do our best. So that's why I haven't, you know, worked out everything, but I just want to share my feelings. So, like, if anyone can relate, you know, I'm not sharing it because I want people to say, oh my god, you're so good looking, or anything. Like, no, that's not what that's not my point. Like, I just want to like share my thoughts, but I don't want any like, oh my god, you know what I mean. Like, I really don't. That's not the reason why I'm talking about this. But I just want to say that you know, you could work on whatever you can. I mean, like, maybe sometimes there are ways to doll yourself up to make you feel better about yourself. Maybe like there's a way to, like, if I was more, see, if I could be bothered, like, I don't do makeup because I'm lazy, not because I don't like it. I really do when I when I you know, it's more like I'm just lazy. So I tend to just go out like this, and then like stay at home, and just like, I don't do the makeup because I'm lazy. Although I would like to, like, I feel like if maybe like if I got into makeup and, like, you know, just try to like maybe I don't know. Like, I know that there are like ways to contour your nose so that it looks different or something. I would love to try that. You know, it's pretty interesting. But yeah, just like But yeah, I'm not gonna say like, oh, love yourself for who you are. You know, it's like if I can't even achieve that, you know, it's like who am I to tell anyone how they should feel? But just know that, you know, you're not wrong for feeling that way. Like your brain is trying to obviously keep you safe, and I'm just moving the camera a bit so it doesn't fall off. You know, your brain is trying to keep you safe. It wants to recognize certain things as maybe ugly or something. I don't know. Like I mean, like I'm speaking only from my own experience of why I think I'm like why I get repulsed by my own face sometimes. Not all the times. Like sometimes I'll feel like, you know, sometimes like I can watch videos of myself like laughing and having fun, and that's fine. It's just when I'm like talking or like being serious or something, that's when I really like just get reminded, especially if I'm like angry. It's even worse, like because oh, the angry part is the worst part. But anyway, not that I can control. Like, you know what? I always say this. Like, I feel like I would do much better if I went to anger management because maybe I could manage my anger better. But anyway, so yeah, I just think that whatever it is, just you know, give yourself some. What's the word? Well, I'm thinking of the word. Like, don't beat yourself up over feeling this way. Like, you know, it's like you're not forcing it. Like, you know, I'm not forcing myself to feel crap about myself. I mean, just know that maybe one day there'll be something you can do. Like even if it's physical. I mean, I don't know. Like whatever it is that works for you is what you could do, I guess. Like, but until the meantime, you know, I just maybe that's why I don't like to edit a lot of my videos, the long talking ones, because I can't stand going through it 10 times. Like I know like other people who watch it probably won't feel the way I do because you've never had experience with that guy who did horrible things, so you're not going to see those features as ugly. So, you know, I'm thankful for that because, you know, it's like if everyone in the world felt the way I did, oh my god, like imagine that. But I'm glad that, you know, I understand that other people wouldn't see me as ugly the way I see it just because they don't have experience with him and his nasty doings, and they wouldn't have associated what that specific feature with ugliness. But I unfortunately had to witness that, so my brain kind of can't take that image out the way I want it to. So it's like no matter what people say, like people can say I'm the most best looking person in the world, and I will just always be like, they don't really know, but that's just me. Like I accept that's my own opinion. So like like I honestly I would rather be like, what's the word? Like, I would rather have facial features that I just didn't think was that good rather than look like him, because looking like him just feels like an insult to my head. Like, you know, it's like, I just, sometimes I wish, like, I know that's, like, I have to tell myself that I'm happy where I am now, you know, it's like, besides my physical, you know, DNA made up of half him, which I'm not happy about, like I am very happy with where I am in life, and I'm happy with what I'm doing, and I'm happy with everything, and that's what I tell myself when I feel like, oh, if only I had different like DNA, if only it was someone else, you know what I mean? Like, because sometimes it's just really hard to get through that. Like it's hard not to feel like you're tainted when you have when you know like half of your own thing is made up of someone who's so horrible. But then I have to remind myself that, you know, it's like, it's not the DNA that's that fault. It's like his own choices, you know. It's like, just because someone has the DNA doesn't like mean that they're destined to be evil, you know. Like, so I have to remind myself that, and I have to remind myself that other people, may not find me ugly because they don't, like, as I said before, they don't see my facial features as like a repulsive thing. Good thing they don't know him, if you know what I mean. Like, otherwise, everyone in the world might think that I'm the ugliest person. So yeah, yeah. Let's just hope that, you know, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I hope you love yourself, but I hope you just give yourself some time to, you know, accept things and just do your best. You know, that's all I can say really, is to do your best, because that's what we can do, right? We can just try to do our best and improve a little bit each day. That's all that matters.